Hey guys, this is Ify and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make my family's favorite Nigerian goat meat stew. Guys, this one is not ordinary. It's not your regular tomato stew that you're used to. I'm adding a little something to make it delicious, different, and one that you're going to be proud of to recreate. So without further ado, let me show you the list of ingredients and then we can start. So for this beautiful and amazing and delicious recipe, we're going to be making use of some goat meat. So I've got the roasted goat meat here. As you can see, the skin is smoked, delicious, and you know it's going to be very flavorful. We also have some blended pepper mix. This is a blend of some tomatoes, some Scotch bonnet peppers, some cayenne pepper, and your paprika peppers, which you know as tatashe. We're also going to be making use of some ginger garlic paste. Now this is just a blend of ginger and garlic. This is a lifesaver, trust me. I have my seasoning powder here. I have some cooking oil. I've got some black pepper. I'm also going to be using some curry powder and some thyme. I've got some dried parsley here. Of course, I've got some salt and some vegetables. I've got some green bell peppers, some onions, and carrots. So these are all the ingredients I will be using in this delicious recipe. We're going to start first by cooking our meat. Like I said earlier, we're going to be using some goat meat. Now this has been thoroughly rinsed and I'm putting it in the pot with no water, as you can see. I'm also going to be adding some onions, chopped onions for flavor, lots of flavor. And then some ginger garlic paste, some black pepper to give us some heat, but mostly flavor, all right? Some dried parsley as well, some seasoning powder. I would have used goat meat seasoning powder, but I don't have some, so that is why I am using this one. I'm adding some thyme. If you have fresh one, it's okay. So I'm going to give everything a good mix. Remember to do this part on low heat so that the goat meat can bring out its own juice, okay? And that will steam the beef for a while, for about 10 minutes. So this step is very important. Give it a good mix. Cook it on low heat. Okay, so this is good. And I'm going to cover the pot and allow it to steam gently. Wow, this is about 12 minutes later, and as you can see, the meat has released its own juice. You can see all of that juice that it has released. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. But you have to do this part on low heat, remember, so you just don't burn your meat or your beef or whatever it is you are using. So at this point, I'm going to add some water, room temperature water, to finish the cooking, all right? So this is fine. And then I'm going to cover the pot and allow it cook till it is tender, till it is well cooked. Now I'm going to increase the heat to medium so that it can start cooking. The next thing we're going to do is to fry the meat. So I'm adding some cooking oil into my pan. Once it's hot, I'm going to go on with frying the goat meat. So my oil is hot enough now. Ooh, that's hot. Guys, you want to be careful when doing this, please. once it gets brown on the other side, I'm just going to take it off the heat and then we'll continue with the stew. So now that I'm done frying the beef, or the goat meat rather, I'm going to use the same oil from frying the goat meat in here, but I'll just try to, you know, not put in all those particles. So if you can sieve it, even better. I'm just used to doing it this way. Okay, so the oil is nice and hot now. I'm just going to go ahead with my onions. Okay, I love lots and lots of onions. If you've been following this page or this channel closely, you would know that. We're just going to leave this to fry for about 1 minute and then we'll go ahead with the rest of the ingredients. All right, now, so I'm going in with my ginger garlic paste. This really does flavor your food, ginger and garlic. Lovely combo. So I'm just going to let this fry for another 30 seconds and then I'll put in my pepper blend. This is a really easy and delicious stew, very easy. My pepper mix goes in, and this is just the blend of, like I said earlier, some tomatoes, pepper, cayenne pepper, and paprika pepper. So I'm going to give it a good mix. Lovely, lovely aroma. And the smell of the ginger is hitting me already, guys. Please, if you don't use ginger and garlic or you don't like it, find a way to incorporate it into your meals little by little. It really does take the level of your food from here to there. Like, it's amazing. I love it. So we're just going to leave this to fry for a bit and then I'll season it in a short while. So while my stew is cooking, I'm going to go ahead to prep the vegetables that I will be adding at some point in the cooking of this lovely goat stew. So just gonna do this, see me, just like that. So you can see the shape. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, so that's why I like to use my crinkle cutter. So you can cut your carrot into whatever shape you like. I like this one, and that's how I'm cutting it. Look at it. It's not too fat, it's not too thin, it's just nice. Okay, so my carrots are all nicely cut and ready to be used. So we're done with our vegetables and they'll be introduced at a later time. After about 10 minutes, I'm checking on the stew. It is cooking nicely. So I'm going to season it now and then leave it to continue cooking. Adding some thyme. Also adding some curry powder and some seasoning powder. I'm going to give this a good mix. Oh, smells so good. And I'll cover it and allow it to continue frying. So after about 10 minutes, I've come back to check the stew. It is looking good. As you can see, it is not too dry, but it is cooked. So that is how you want it. You don't want it too dry. No, you don't want it. Neither do you want it sour. So at this point, I'm going to add some of the meat stock that we used in boiling the goat's meat. Okay, so I think I want more. So I'm adding everything. This is just bone. So everything goes in. And see, my stew has loosened a bit. It looks good. And then all the flavor from the goat meat, the spices that I used, everything is in here. Now this is goat meat that I fried earlier. I'm putting it in right now. I'll give it a good mix. I'm going to taste it to see that everything is working well in this delicious, yummy pot of stew. Another quick taste. Ah, I almost don't want to stop. Anyway, so I'm just going to cover this and let it, boil together. This time I'm reducing the heat to medium low. So it has time for everything to, get to know each other well. So after about 5 minutes, I've come back to check on my stew. It looks good. Okay, giving it a good stir. And now I'm going to go ahead. If you feel like it's too thick, I think this is fine for me though. But if I think it's too thick a little later, I'm going to add a little water. But for now, let's just go on. I'm adding in my vegetables now. The carrots goes in. I'm adding the green bell pepper. Now this is going to add, and the onions. All these things are going to add tons and tons of flavor to this goat meat stew. Guys, we use goat meat, and that one is already flavorful. Now imagine it with these vegetables. And this is such a brilliant way of adding veggies to your diet, at least for the day. Looks good, doesn't it? Okay, I think it looks too thick, so I'm gonna, add a little water. This is warm water, so it doesn't bring down the temperature of the stew too much. And then I'm giving it a good mix. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to add a little bit of salt just because of the extra veggies or the veggies that I've added. So everything, works well. So just a little bit of salt and we are good. I'm going to stir this. Looks good, doesn't it? And then I'm going to cover this and allow this cook for another 2 minutes, and then we are done. After 2 minutes, I'm coming to check on the stew. This is it. This is it, guys. You can tell this is going to be good, right? I know. Alrighty, so I'm turning off the gas and we are done.